week in session, and how did the week go since we talked last? Have you talked to your mom? Or?
It's been better.
Yeah.
It's a little bit better. I'm trying to learn how to distance myself.
Okay. And what does that look like when you say distance yourself?
Well, I don't answer my phone as much, and
Okay.
if she wants to start arguing with me, then I just kind of take myself out of the situation. And I feel like she's starting to get the hint. Sometimes, you know, you come out and say things to people, and they're just like, oh, well, okay. And then other times, you know, with your actions, you just...
Sure, yeah. Well, it sounds like you've made a little headway, if anything.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. How's that guilt with her? Is that, you know, as a daughter, you know, when your mom calling you and saying, you're not there for me? I mean, what you explained last week in our session.
It is. I mean, it's... sometimes it's harder than others, but, you know, I have my own life, and I have to understand that it does... You know, she's my mother, and I don't want to have any regrets when something happens to her, but I also have my own life, too, and, you know, her stress and my stress is way too much stress for one person.
Do you think, in your experience, do you think she understands that she is putting that guilt on you and that you do have other priorities, or is it more about just her?
Honestly, I think it would depend on the day. I think it would depend on her mood. You know, she is bipolar, and you asked that in the last, you know, the last time we met. She is bipolar, so she has totally different reactions than what I think she's going to have with things. She's one minute she's very, very happy and excited, and then, well, excited for a person that, you know, I mean, she's lost a 23-year-old child, so. You know, I have to keep that into consideration as well.
Absolutely.
So, but she has, you know, sometimes she'll be really great, and, you know, I'm sorry, and then another minute she just doesn't have that sympathy. It's not there.
Now, when the 23-year-old now, is that, do you think, how long ago was that?
5.5 years.
5.5 years ago. Has she been still kind of grieving over, you know, how much? Does she have, just a thought, would she be open to some counseling, do you think?
I've tried. I've tried several times. I have found, like, grief conferences and grief workshops and things that are offered in the area, but she's not really interested.
She's not in that place yet.
No, and they're working with her medication, but, you know, I totally believe in medication, but I also believe that in order for, you know, a person to really try to help themselves, you know, they really need to kind of put the pride aside.
Right.
And really focus on themselves, and I think that's what she's lacking.
Well, and that's hard, especially for their age. You know, a lot of times they're very proud people anyway, you know, with the elderly, but I'm assuming she's older anyway. I should assume that.
I think she's 48. Maybe.
Okay.
48.
Okay. Okay.
No, she's 46.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. And Howard, do you think that you need some extra counseling with the grieving? I'm sure you yourself are. I know you come to me, but sometimes even get a little extra support.
I do. I think that would be helpful, yes.
Okay. Because I know they have some, at hospice, they have some different things with grieving stuff. You know, I don't know if that's just a suggestion, but to make sure you're always taking care of yourself. So, you know, what does that kind of look like?
I've looked into doing a couple grief workshops myself, but honestly, it's never worked out with my schedule.
Okay, so busy, yeah. How about, have you ever even just decided to take a walk and, you know, sometimes just getting outside and just...
No.
No?
I honestly haven't.
You know, just to kind of breathe in some air and, you know, because it sounds like you're really taking care of your mom, you're taking care of your kids, you have a job. I mean, it's a lot on your plate, you know.
Yes.
Now, do you have a significant other that can help out, that is, you know, supports you too when you crash?
I've been married for 5.5 years.
Okay.
So, yes.
So
he's helpful. He helps with the kids, and, you know, when I work, I take one to school, and then he picks one up, and so that helps.
Well, that's good that you guys work together like that, because that's so important to have some. Because when you're out there feeling left alone, that can be almost feeling in despair at the moment. And then your mom's calling you, and you know the stress can even get further. But well, goodness. Is there anything else that you're thinking about your mom, or anything else that you wanted to talk to me about today?
No, just family issues.
Family issues.
They never seem to end.
No, and there's always those ones that are a little dysfunction, and and there's always the one that's the rescuer, and there's always those things. But it's really important for you to set boundaries and have some good support system. So, well, I hope we can continue our therapy. I want to. So, would you be open to that?
Sure.
Okay.
And I appreciate you seeing me.
Oh yes, anytime, and we'll get you scheduled for next week. If that's okay.
Sounds perfect.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.